Hello everyone, welcome to the Westland Public Library Cookbook Review. I'm Sarah, one of the Adult Services librarians at the library, and I'm also a camera-shy amateur home chef who has volunteered to cook under the scrutiny of film for your pleasure. In this video, I will be reviewing the Oregonian Cookbook, Best Recipes from Food Day, edited by Catherine Miller. Admittedly, I would have never picked up this cookbook from the library nor bookstore, given the general lack of photography throughout the cookbook. Since much of my culinary experience has been gained through self-education, I have appreciated the modern cookbook trends of gorgeous recipe photographs that exemplify a perfect result. However, this changed when a friend prepared the Elephant Delicatessen Mama Leone's chicken soup and I was hooked. I was so awed by this recipe that I went out and bought this cookbook, and I have continued to enjoy the variety of recipes throughout the book. For this demonstration, I have chosen to prepare the recipe that prompted me to buy the book. The soup is simple to make but rich in flavor, making it perfect for Oregon's colder climate. It makes 4 to 6 servings, and even more when paired with a wonderful bread, and is great when trying to impress a crowd or for leftovers throughout the week. Let's get started. For this recipe, you will season 8 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breast halves with salt and pepper and place them on a well-oiled baking sheet or pan. You will cook these at 375 degrees Fahrenheit until the internal temperature of the chicken registers 160 degrees, which will take about 15 to 20 minutes. Once the chicken is cool enough to handle, dice the meat and set aside for the end. While the chicken is cooking, you can prep your other ingredients, including 2 tablespoons butter, 1 tablespoon minced garlic, 1/2 teaspoon dried tarragon, 1/2 teaspoon dried oregano, 2 teaspoons sweet paprika, 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 8 cups chicken broth, 1 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes and juice, 3/4 cup whipping cream, and 2 cups thinly sliced fresh spinach. This recipe also calls for 1 medium onion diced and 3 stalks celery. Now, if this was an actual cooking YouTube channel, I would demonstrate the proper way to cut an onion, including slicing horizontally, cutting with the grain, and then against the grain for perfectly diced onions. However, I am a librarian by trade, and so to expedite this process, I'm going to rely on my handy-dandy vegetable cutter to help me through this. I will also use the dicer to cut the celery, since the onions and the celery will be cooked at the same time. I know that this is blasphemous to many, but the vegetable cutter is adequate when the size and inconsistency of shape have no bearing on the outcome of the dish, and it quickly helps me prepare multiple meals per day. While you are preparing your ingredients, heat about 2 tablespoons oil in a stock pot over medium heat. You will add your butter and wait until it melts before adding your onions and celery. You will saute your vegetables until the onions become translucent, which will take about 6 to 7 minutes. When translucent, you will add your garlic, tarragon, oregano, paprika, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. When the spices have bloomed, you will add your flour and stir until well combined and everything is evenly coated. Using a whisk, you will add your chicken broth and bring everything to a boil. A spoon would also suffice as a stirring utensil if you do not have a whisk, but the whisk will ensure that the flour becomes well incorporated and evenly distributed. Once the broth has reached a boil, you will add your tomatoes and cream and reduce the heat to a simmer, where it will do its magic for another 20 minutes. If your tomatoes and cream stop your boiling process, try to wait until the mixture starts to simmer before reducing the heat. After 20 minutes, you will add your reserved chicken and cook for another 10 minutes so that the chicken absorbs flavor and reheat. Right before you are ready to serve the meal, you will add your spinach. This could be in the serving bowl for the freshest presentation. However, I usually will add the spinach at this time to the pot and found that it reheats well. The only thing left to do at this point is enjoy. Thank you for joining me virtually today. Leave a comment in the section below if there are other recipes from this cookbook that you would like others to try, or other recommendations for similar cookbooks. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page if you want to see more virtual programs, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for additional content.